So I got an email today that my CrossFit level 1 cert is due to expire December 31st. What do I do?
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me.
It's lunchtime. What's going on, everybody? Man, we got a packed house already in the chat. We got Lido. We've got Traint Olive. Got Corey. Got Amanda. Got Joey. Got Kenneth Delap. Joseph Ramirez. Meredith saying hi. What is going on, everybody? Man, I am having a hard time getting moving today. Woke up to 4 to 5 inches of snow this morning. Everything is covered. Man, it's nice to not have to go into an office and work from home on days like this. Didn't have to brush off a car, didn't have to heat up the car, just had to roll out of bed, turn on my computer and get to work. Man, so nice, so nice. Joey Perez is saying it's Packers week. Time to bear down. You know it. Man, this is the first time Packers week in a long time has mattered. And the reason it matters is because the Bears are holding up their end of the bargain. And I am so stoked. We've got the late afternoon window on Sunday. So excited about that. It's the game of the week. Bears Packers in Lambeau. Of course, I'm nervous. As a Bears fan, I can never just depend on them to do what they're supposed to do. Even though we're having a great season, I am just really freaking nervous about this week. So anyway, got that going on. Mike DeVito says all rain by me. I would have preferred snow. WFH is the dream. I do not know what WFH is. Sometimes I feel like I'm so out of it. Mike DeVito says, F the Bears, go Birds. If you're talking about the Eagles, man, I think we made our statement. So why when I tune into a Sevi or Hiller YouTube, it's fitness ads. The Clydesdale lunch is false fingernails, eyelashes, or perfume. I don't know, man. I don't know. Work from home. Work from home. Yes. Work from home is the dream. Yes, yes, yes. Eric Mackey says, all right. 12 inches of snow last weekend. Jody up in New York area. No snow, just rain here on the East Coast. Connecticut, not New York. I'm sorry. Mike DeVito, haha, I am. I will give that to you. We suck. Yeah, I don't know if you suck. I mean, the defense is supposed to be great. I think for the first time in a long time, the Bears have a great offensive line. So what is up, Kat? I miss you. Joseph Ramirez says DC is getting rain, maybe snow later tonight. Yeah. I got something to talk to you about, Joseph, but real quick, last day, Thirdzy, last day for the Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals. till 10 o'clock tonight, you can get up to 50% off of your order, and promo code Jazzy gets you free shipping. So check that out. So Thirdzy.com/Jazzy, or go to Thirdzy.com, use the promo code Jazzy and get free shipping on your big order. Kat says more pods coming, newly single. Okay. Everybody is saying no. Ken Walters, Minnesota, all temps for this week are 12 to 27, overnight 3 to 8. Yeah. Eric Mackey made his order. He got 40% off. Hopefully he used the code Jazzy and got free shipping on that. Okay. It's going to be true frozen tundra conditions in Green Bay too. So that run game is going to eat, and the secondary is going to feast on Love's 50-50 balls. Man, I hope so. I don't want to get into the weeds on the Bears. I mean, that's not technically what we talk about here, but oh my gosh. Wright is just killing it at corner. 6'4". He is the only corner I've seen lately who can high point a ball like a wide receiver, and the catches he is making to make interceptions is just crazy. Just crazy. So anyway, I did want to quickly talk about Penn State, and Joseph Ramirez is on here, so I want to get his quick take. It's rumored that Penn State is going to sign the coach from BYU. He is not signing a deal until he's done with the Big 12 championship. That is not the big splash I was hoping for as a Penn State fan. I was really hoping for Brian Daboll. I know he didn't do great with the Giants, but he was a Nick Saban disciple as an offense coordinator with Alabama. He did great as an offensive coordinator with the Buffalo Bills. I was hoping that's who Penn State would go after. Nick Saban said he was a great recruiter, and instead we're going after this BYU coach that I don't know, honestly, a lot about, and it just doesn't seem like the big splash that we need at Penn State. So, did I see the new Ben Johnson Chicago CHGO shirts? I did. I was watching that yesterday when they announced it. It's really cool. Bears fans finally can talk smack. That is true. It has been a while. I don't want Brian Kelly ever at Penn State. Ken Walters, anyone can do great with Josh Allen. Josh Allen came into the league. He was not great, dude. He was a turnover machine. He was not good. He had to be developed, and Brian Daboll was the one who developed him. So you're not going to learn enough at Wyoming to come into the NFL and just be great. Daboll deserves some credit for that. Ramirez says it could be worse. They could have gone after Lane Kiffin. I would have loved Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin wins. He is a great coach. He's quirky. He's weird. Fine. He wins. I don't want him either, Andrew. I'm good. All right. So the big thing for the day is I got my email today that my CrossFit level 1 is due to expire at the end of the month. So I've had it for 10 years. I got my first CrossFit level 1 in person in 2015, in June or July of 2015. And I did it in person at Rogue here in Columbus. Had that, coached, went through a coaching mentorship, coached for a few years, and became a judge because of it, a lot of things like that. Then in 2020, it was due to expire. I was scheduled to do it a level 2 in Cookeville at Mayhem. Because of COVID, it kept getting canceled and canceled. And during that time, they actually extended my level 1 for 6 months. So it got to a point where they weren't going to extend it anymore. I couldn't get anything scheduled. So I just did the online L1 to get it and keep it in good standing. So I did the online L1 in 2020, and then it went through the end of this year, 5 more years. And so now it is expiring at the end of the month, and I don't really know what to do. And the reason I don't know what to do, and I'm asking you what you guys think, is I don't coach anymore. I don't judge anymore. There's no requirement to have an L1 to be a podcaster or to be a media member. And so my thought is, like, I've done it twice. I have the knowledge from doing the L1. Why would I need to move on and get? So Claire's saying, go get your level 2, but I'm not coaching. Like, and it's really hands-on coaching, right? And I don't think I'm ever going to go back to coaching. So I don't know. Like, and it's $1,000, isn't it still? It just, I don't know. It's such a huge investment. I don't make a ton of money with what I do, and I don't know. There's really mixed reaction here. Andrew Sten, if you're not coaching or judging, I don't see a need for it. It's great to get it once for the knowledge if you're not using it for coaching. You have enough OG cred, you don't need it. Wow, thank you. Claire says, great experience, makes you even better media. I've done the L1 twice. I've done it both ways that it's available. I have that experience of going through that. But my understanding is the L2 is more like coaching cues and how to do like tactile coaching cues, how to do verbal coaching cues, things of that nature. I don't know what that gives me. I just don't. Meredith asks if I could do another online extension. I could do the online version, but now it only extends you for 3 years. Back when I did it in 2020, it was a 5-year extension. Now the online version only gives you 3. So you're investing in a 3-year credential instead of a 5-year. Joseph, I'm finally getting my L1 at the end of February. I highly recommend the L1. I mean, if you've never done it, I think everybody should do it. It's such a great learning experience. Why? Because you can, and who knows what retirement life will be. I mean, I could always go back and I could get another L1 at some point if I want to go back to. The cult requests that you please stop asking questions and just support CrossFit by giving them your money. We, the collective, have decided. Yeah, expensive if you're not using it. Yeah, if I was coaching, like, I would jump back in at the chance, or even if I was still going to judge for a while. Lita says, I just let it expire. I agree with Andrew. Kat, I'm afraid I'll have to let my L3 go. Man, isn't that just continuing education credits? Yeah, if I was up as far as an L3, I'm just not sure I would let that go. Because that's a whole, like, I'm at the first rung of the ladder. If I need to go back and get the first rung again, I can go back and do that. Kat, you're at the third rung of the ladder. I don't know if I would go back and start over on that. Corey says once he gets his L2, that's as far as he's going. Joey Perez, only reason at this point would be to make content out of it, interview other folks, getting it, etc. Yeah. Andrew said, don't get the L2 unless you're actively coaching. Claire, I did my L2 with zero coaching experience and no hopes to coach. That being said, I was making great money, and I hear your financial consideration. Yeah. I mean, that's what Amanda, that's exactly what I heard it is. It's coaching cues and class management, and I'm not coaching a class anymore. I mean, there's days I miss it, but I really like the media side so much better. Wayne Short, take the $1,000, put it towards your business, a wider reach than you could ever get with coaching locally. Yeah. I think that's where I'm leaning. Oh, so the level 3 is about $1,000 worth of continuing education credits and 750 hours of CrossFit coaching. Woo. I mean, that's pretty much full-time coaching or full part-time coaching. Mike DeVito, the level 2 will deepen your understanding, but yes, it would be more geared towards coaching. Just do the online one and reassess in a year or two. Linda, it's a no for me, dog. Seeing that's an L1, you can let it go and always go back. If it was an L2 expiring, then it's a bigger question. I think you're right, Amanda. I think because I can always go back and get the L1 again at any point in time if I feel the need to go back to coaching or any of those kinds of things. I think that's where I'm leaning. But the funny thing is, there were we had that judging incident over the summer where someone's L1 expired and they weren't officially an official judge. And it almost cost people at Mayhem some spots to the games. The amount of times that CrossFit has emailed me telling me that my L1 is expiring was a lot. I mean, it was a lot. I know it's expiring. Unless I'm completely ignoring my emails, I know that it is expiring. And I want to make that clear from what happened this year when they said, well, I just didn't know. There's no way you couldn't know if you're paying attention to your emails at all. Claire says the experience is worth it if you have the means in that season of life. It's so special to experience CrossFit training. I really enjoy the classes. I enjoy going and doing them. But I am in a weird season of life. Like my daughter has just left home, but she's really just starting out and she's needed more support than I think my wife and I really anticipated. And so that part of our lives is when you think it's over, it feels like it's just beginning all over again in the support for her and trying to get her feet on the ground and really get into it. She has a great job. She's doing great things. It's just, there's so many startup costs with a big move and a big job. I think that just hit me, and the $1,000 right now just seems like a stretch. like people that let their vehicle registrations expire and don't know. Yeah. I actually have a friend who's let it happen a couple times, but in Ohio, if you lease a car, your expiration date is the date of the lease, not your birthday. If you own a car, your registration date is based on your birthday. And so that can get a little bit confusing. So that is the one like exception I'll give to that. The other thing I want to talk about before I have to get back to work is, if you guys did not see Hiller's video yesterday on his version of the WFP season, I don't know if there's enough flowers for me to throw at what Hiller came up with. I don't want to just be gaga and be like a sycophant about the whole thing, but I truly am. Like, what he came up with, looking at it from the fact of fun to watch, get outside eyeballs on it, and come up with something that is so well-rounded over a season, and to include all of that was nothing short of genius. Nothing short of genius. I agree, Joseph. I agree. Hiller's borderline genius. To have the concept to bring in athletes from other sports and have like a lane 11 for them to go head to head with the CrossFit athletes, just to get eyeballs on to see how like this NFL person would compete against these people, or how the CrossFitters would fare against an NFL athlete. Like, that is so cool to me. To take aspects from other sports and plop them into the middle of this programming for across 3 events was I've been in CrossFit since 2011. I have been a super fan of the sport ever since. And I cannot believe that nobody has come close to what Hiller has done in what he said was an hour. I am just completely blown away. To first of all go into the fact with, hey, we're the WFP, and this is the piece that's probably missing in real life, is we're going to partner with CrossFit enough that we can use the CrossFit name. We can make homages to the CrossFit world by starting off with Murph and by using the name CrossFit. That is probably the one bridge that isn't there to make it a reality. But then to have a complete gymnastics style event with an NFL player doing one of the events with the people is brilliant. And to have Max Gymnastics as a part of that, and everybody knows that going in, and then to have the power output event second with a straight powerlifting meet that people can compare to what is happening in the real world of powerlifting to what the CrossFitters are doing. And then to have this, and in that, to do the Liver King, what the hell is the name of that workout? Where you do the sled drag with the kettlebells and the weight vest, the Barbarian. Thank you, Kenneth. And to do the Barbarian and then invite the Liver King, which people will watch just to see the train wreck that may happen or may not happen, right? It's going to bring eyeballs to the show. And you could bring powerlifters in too to show what is possible with a powerlifter, and then how the CrossFitters attack the same thing. And then to go to the last event and having like an NFL combine piece with the max bench press at 225, to have I can't remember the other pieces of it, like the 400-meter run and the I think there was some kind of jump to that, just for pure athleticism and all of that to be included in that. And then along the way, my favorite apparatus to ever be at the CrossFit Games is the snail. And to incorporate the snail into an event would be so much fun. Yeah, it was max vertical. Yeah, so it's like an NFL combine, max vertical, 400-meter run, and max bench press with a 225. All measurables that you can put up against other athletes in other sports to see where the CrossFitters kind of live. And you could have some of those athletes come in and do those events just to show what the like tip of the spear that specialize in those areas can do. To me, I hope and pray that people are watching what Hiller put out and are looking at it going, that is ingenious and that needs to be done at some point. Someone needs to take that template and run with it. Completely run with it. And the High Rocks event in the middle of the third event. And showing what High Rocks can be done with standards. And maybe have some of the best High Rocks people come in and run in a lane 11 against the CrossFitters. Instead of like saying, hey, we reject you, High Rocks. Hey, come on in. Let's see what you can do against our athletes. We're going to set up the course just like you do. We're going to do all the same things that you do. Let's see how you fare against us. That was I really like when he goes and spends time with an athlete. I think that he does a better job of that than anybody else in the space. But other than that, this has been the best piece of work that I think he's put out all year for sure. And the thought behind it, the reasoning behind it was all the different aspects that need to be considered. How do we get eyeballs on this? How do we get spectators to show up? How do we get interest? How do we make it go viral? And that he's even thinking about how things could be clipped to make reels before the event even happens. Like we talk about Dave Castro and the way that he looks at an event, and he always tells the story really well for people at the event, or maybe even people at or watching on a stream. But I don't think Castro has ever gone to the point of like, how can this become a viral clip? What part of this can we clip off to put out onto social media to get people to come watch? That's a step further than anybody else has ever gone in the thought process of creating an event. Honest to God, if I'm Will Morad and I'm Jackson Terry, I am hiring Hiller tomorrow to put together this template and to make this thing next year's event. Immediately. It'll never happen. It'll never happen because egos will get in the way and people think they can do things better. But when you look at this at the face value, it is the only event that I would say could compete with the CrossFit Games. The only thing it doesn't have is the glory that the CrossFit Games has established. The meaning behind it, the meaning of the win. But the CrossFit Games can be that. They can be find the fittest. This can be, let's find the most entertaining tour event that we can put together. Did Hiller put out a Choi video, Sungyoung Choi video? He did not. He did a Korean video and she was in it. I think this Sungyoung Choi is still coming. Adding Tyson event was cool also. Yeah, I didn't want to say specifically Tyson because I'm a Bears fan, and I didn't want to say it, think like I was leaning. And that event has been done, and it's been battle tested and proven that it can be done with high-level CrossFitters going against an NFL athlete. It could be any NFL athlete. The NFL is so big, getting any of them to come be in lane 11 is awesome. And if it has to be Tyson Bagent, it can be Tyson Bagent. That's cool. Mr. B studied this and talked about the science of going viral. That's what most storytellers do. They plan and envision. They normally have vision boards. I think that's what I'm saying, Jonathan, is that like Hiller is thinking about all of the different aspects around this with a vision that hasn't been done before. And he wrote it all out on a whiteboard. And I think that's where it kind of all came, is that he put it down in writing. He looked at it as a whole. And I think that's where the WFP probably made a misstep, is they didn't look at their season as a whole. They were building it as it went. And I don't think they had all 3 tour stops figured out before the season started. And if you're having a tour stop league with a beginning and an end that is season long, you need to create that as one massive creation. And that's what Hiller did. He didn't look at it as, hey, here's tour stop 1. We'll get that done. We'll get it out of the way. Now we'll build tour stop 2, looking back at tour stop 1. Get that done. Now we'll build tour stop 3, looking back at the previous 2. What Hiller did is throw it all up on one whiteboard from start to finish and said, this is our season. This is how we build it. And looking at it all in its entirety throughout the build, instead of piece by piece. If you have not seen the video, you need to go see it. And I'm telling you, somebody needs to jump on this and make it an event. It gave me hope with the correct thought process. It's a way to bring eyeballs to the sport that I love. It's a way to bring eyeballs to this methodology that I love. And done in the right way, it could be hugely successful. Train Olive, that's how the programming should have been done. 100%, without a doubt, exactly the way it should have been done. They don't have to hire Hiller. He already gave them the blueprint. But they'd be missing out on that vision of how to make this thing viral. That's the piece, Grant. That's where, like, they, instead of half-assing it, hire the man and let him show you where it can be clipped. Let him use the video footage to put clips out. In the video himself, he showed how before his visit to Korea with Sung Young Choi, she had less than, I think it was like 40,000 subscribers on Instagram. And now she's over 100,000. Like, he knows what he's talking about when it comes to getting viral views. It's not just the template. It's not just the workouts. It's all the pieces combined that you have to have a vision for as you're going through the process. Eric Mackey, I'd like to see Get With The Programming or JR review of Hiller's programmed events. I would love for them to grab this and do like a Get With The Programming or a Shut Up and Scribble episode, going through this and getting their thoughts on what they think of Hiller's event. There's no way they're going to listen to him. I don't think they will either. I think their ego will get involved, and I don't think they'll listen to him but it doesn't mean they shouldn't. I wanted a 40-yard dash. I think he went 400-meter run because 400-meter run is more fitness based. 40-yard dash it's I don't know. It's more of a, I don't know. It's hard to, I just think the 400-meter run is a better test than the 40-yard dash. So I think I get why he did that. And if you slip it to start, you're screwed. It's just, there's no wiggle room at all for error in a 40-yard dash. None. And I think that the 40-yard dash is harder on the body as a whole. If you are not acclimated to sprinting, you can pull hamstrings, you can tear Achilles, you can do a lot of things in a sprint that would not happen in a 400-meter run. I just don't think CrossFit bodies are acclimated to sprinting. So again, if you haven't seen that, please go check it out. And I would love to see some people dissect it, like a Get With the Programming or Shut Up and Scribble, and hear their thoughts on it too, because I was totally geeking out yesterday watching that video, and just want someone to take it on and make it happen. So, and it's the best suggestion I've heard since my reality show take. This may be better than the reality show. I'm going to finish up with this. As you guys all know, if you've been listening to the show, I'm a big Taylor Sheridan fan. Been watching Landman this season. That show has the best cast on TV today. If that doesn't win the Emmy this year, I'm going to be stunned. There's a point in this season, and I'm going to try to do this without doing spoilers, but there's a point in this season where Tommy, who is played by Billy Bob Thornton, and his son Cooper are driving off to Odessa, Texas, I believe, because there's a death in the family. And they're talking about how Tommy was giving advice to his son about not getting into like a cycle of violence inside the home, because he had lived through that himself. And his son says to him, well, you did that, Dad. And his dad responds that he didn't break the cycle, he avoided it. And he, in his mind, he didn't feel like he was a good father. His son basically tells him, your best was good enough for me, Dad. And it's this moment in this dialogue that is like through the roof good. If you're not watching Landman, it's so good. And that scene is so powerful. And then in the last episode, there, at the end of last season, Andy Garcia comes into the television show as a drug kingpin who is running this massive drug empire. Turns out he's doing more than that. He's investing in the oil industry in certain ways. He's investing in other things. And there comes this time where at the end of last season, he saves Tommy or Billy Bob Thornton's life. And he says that they're going to be friends. And Billy Bob rejects this immediately. Well, now this season, they're becoming more intertwined because of some scenarios. And they're at a club, and the widow of John Hamm, who owns the oil company now, Tommy's wife, played by Ali Lauder, and Andy Garcia's wife are hanging out in this club, and Andy and Tommy. And the wives are getting together so well. And the whole time, there's this stare down between Billy Bob Thornton and Andy Garcia. And Demi Moore plays the widow, by the way. So you have Demi Moore, Andy Garcia, Billy Bob Thornton, Ali Lauder in this club. And the stare downs between Garcia and Billy Bob are like, there's this communication going on between the two of them without saying anything, while their wives are over here talking about a completely different subject. And it is completely off the chain good. It got me, as I would say, jazzed. The actors in this show are so damn good. When you can speak dialogue without saying a word, it's so worth watching. Highly recommend it. It's on Paramount Plus. If you're not watching that show, you should be. And I think season 1 was great. I think season 2 is off to a start that's even better than season 1. So that is it. That is it for today. I got to get back to work, but wanted to talk about those things. Eric Mackey, I'm not sure you have many people's attention anymore, but I love the show and love the movie streaming shows talk. This is where we're at, Mackey. Eric Mackey. We are in a period where there's not a lot of CrossFit stuff to talk about. That's why we're talking football. That's why we're talking entertainment. And I've kind of promised it as that's what this show is going to be. I'm doing a daily show for 45 minutes. It's whatever's on my mind. And I try to sprinkle in as much CrossFit as I can. But man, it is a dead time. And I don't want to talk about the negativity of the WFP every single day. It gets on my own nerves. And so these are things that are happening in my life that I want to talk about. And I think they're really, really good. And I know you're not saying anything to be critical. I'm just telling you that's where my heart is, and that's where I come from. Is, gosh, there's only so much we can talk about CrossFit, and right now that it's just a dead time. Jonathan Ortega says, it's your show. Talk about everything. We're here. Yeah. So that's where we're at. So I recapped Hiller's video. Please go check that out. If you are interested in how an event can be created, thinking so broadly, it is an epic video for that. If you want to just lay back and detox from the real world, watch Landman. It's awesome. Penn State, I think, is making a mistake, and it's Packers week. So that's what we did today. That's what we're going to talk about. And now I've got to get back to work because I've got so many damn meetings today. God, I hate meetings. I hate them. But I've got 2 more this afternoon. I had 2 before this, and there we are. With that, guys, I'm going to get back to work. You knuckleheads, you get back to work as well. Don't forget, last day for the Thirdzy. You can get up to 50% off depending on how much you buy. The flavors are unreal. This is salted caramel chocolate. They have a strawberry lemonade. I love both of the flavors. It has changed my life and allowed me to sleep at night where I was not doing that before. Use code Jazzy to get free shipping. And then tomorrow it's back to Jazzy for 15% off. But this is the last day you're going to get the big deals. It's the only time of the year that Thirdzy puts things on sale this much. So go check that out. Code Jazzy to get free shipping at checkout. Thirdzy.com/Jazzy. With that, have a great rest of your day. We'll be back tomorrow with the Cowboy. We'll see you then.